Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to Kids on the Living Edge. I'm Miss Gabby, and it's so great to have you here today. You know, we are starting a new series, and it's going to be all about leading and what that looks like. Our stories are going to come from a book in the Bible called the Book of Judges. So I hope you are ready for a great time. We're going to learn about what it really means to lead. What does it mean to lead? Does it mean bossing other people around, or does it mean serving others and helping others become stronger? Well, we're gonna find that out together. But before we do, we have to say our rules because that's so super important. All right, everybody stand up. Very good. Here we go. Love, listen, learn. Excellent job. Remember, girls and boys, when we love, we listen. And when we listen, we learn. And when we learn, we grow. And who are we going to be like? That's right, we're growing to be like Jesus, the greatest leader that ever was. So boys and girls, I hope you're ready for Callie's World. Get ready.
Today is a brand new day for adventure and fun. What do you think we should do today? Maybe we can go play in my treehouse in my backyard. Oh, look! We have a call from Allie. Hey, Allie!
Hey, Callie, what are you up to?
Chillin', talking to my squad. You?
Callie, I have some bad news. You know that small cornfield close to our houses that we hope one day would become a super cool park? Well, people have been throwing their garbage there. My mom said that we can't play there anymore.
Oh no! What do you think we can do?
I don't know. It could be so beautiful.
I know! It could be a really pretty garden for people to come sit and talk and play. Or maybe a place to put a pretty bird bath and fountain.
Yeah, that sounds so nice. Maybe.
Yeah?
Maybe you can plan it.
Ha! Me? Little me? Do something so big?
But of course you can, Cals. You're brave and smart.
And small. And my voice cracks when I'm nervous. But maybe...
Yes?
Maybe I can get some help from my parents. They have a lot of cool friends. And of course you, Allie.
But of course. I can help you out for sure.
This is exciting. Maybe our Bible story can give us some more ideas.
It's time for our Bible story. This story comes from the book in the Bible called Judges. And that's exactly what Deborah, the main character of our story, was. We think of a judge as a person in a courtroom who slams a gavel and makes decisions. Well, that's exactly what Deborah did. Maybe without the gavel. People came to her to settle things. Like you might go to her if you got into a fight with your brother or sister over a toy. She would decide who got the toy. She was also a prophet, which means that God would speak to her and she would share what he said with others. Deborah was a very special person with many gifts, which is why she was the leader of God's people. At that time, it was very rare for a woman to lead, but God chose her, just like God can choose any of us. One day, Deborah heard from God that it was time to go to battle, and God would give them the victory. She called a guy named Barak to lead the troops, but he wouldn't go without Deborah. Maybe he doubted that he could be a leader, like Deborah was. Deborah decided she would go, but told Barak that because of his attitude, God would choose someone else, another woman, to give them victory. And that is exactly what happened. Deborah heard from God and gave the order for Barak and the army to charge. The battle wasn't even close. Deborah was right. Barak and his army won. The leader of the enemy's army was a guy named Sisera. He ran for his life. He thought he'd found a safe place to rest in the tent of a woman named Jael. But he was wrong. See, Jael was the woman Deborah told Barak about, the woman that would get the credit for the win. And she finished the enemy off. And once their leader was no more, the enemy was soundly defeated. We can be like Barak and think of all kinds of reasons why we can't lead. But what we learned through this story is that when God chooses you, everyone can be a leader.
So, Allie, I've been thinking.
I know you have been, and
I will do it. I'll plan the park project. With your help and all our friends and my parents, of course.
absolutely. I know that you're a little afraid, but think of Deborah. She felt the same way, and God helped her out.
Yes, God did. Deborah was so smart.
And so are you, Callie. Everyone can be a leader.
Thanks, Sally. I'm gonna run and talk to my parents and call you back later, okay?
Sounds like a plan.
See ya! Friends, I'm gonna go run and tell my parents the plan. Make sure you tune in next week to see what happens. Thanks for going with me. Peace out.
Welcome back, boys and girls. Gosh, I hope you enjoyed that story. I know I did. That was so exciting. You know, Deborah, like we found out in our story, was a judge, but she was also a wife and she was also a prophet, meaning she heard from God and she gave God's messages to the people. As a judge, she would settle disputes. You know how you get in an argument with like a friend or your brother or sister? Well, Deborah would settle that. She was a judge. You know, her name means bee, and she certainly was very, very busy. She did a lot. You know, girls and boys, we found out today that in Deborah's day, it was rare, meaning it didn't happen all the time, for a woman to lead. But do you know that God always intended for boys and girls, men and women, to work together, to lead together? In fact, that's what he told the first man and woman, was to take care of the animals and the whole planet together. You know, boys and girls, we can work together. God wants us to lead and show others the way, set the example. You know, that's what leadership is setting the example for others to know the way and help them to be strong. So we're going to learn our memory verse from our series, which comes from Micah chapter 6, verse 8, that says, "He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you and me?" It says to act justly and love mercy and walk humbly with your God. Boys and girls, that's leadership. Showing mercy, showing love, showing being fair. That's what leadership is making others strong and setting the example. Well, I hope that if you're interested, that you'll ask your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, and aunt, and uncle to read you more of the story of Deborah and how she led God's people along with Barak and along with the other lady in our story, Jael. God used Deborah, Jael, and Barak to defeat that scary army that was coming against God's people. Well, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed our story today. And remember, take the lead.